This is one of the most dramatic true stories in Wall Street history to men. Jesse Livermore versus Abraham Germansky. October 1929. One day, two destinies. The setup? Both men were products of the roaring 1920s, a decade of easy money, soaring markets, and reckless confidence. Jesse Livermore was regarded as one of the greatest traders who ever lived. Substack Abraham Germansky was a self-made real estate millionaire from New York who, like almost everyone around him, had moved his wealth into stocks. The crash, October 1929. In one day, Jesse Livermore made the equivalent of more than $3 billion. During one of the worst months in the history of the stock market, he became one of the richest men in the world. Collaborative fund. He had done what almost no one else dared. He shorted the entire market. While America was collapsing financially, Livermore was collecting. Meanwhile, on the very same day, Abraham Germansky, a multimillionaire, real estate developer who had made a fortune during the roaring 1920s, had done what virtually every other successful New Yorker did in the late, bet heavily on the surging stock market. Collaborative fund. The crash wiped him out completely. On October 26, 1929, the New York Times published an article. Bernard H. Sandler, attorney, was asked by Mrs. Abraham Germansky of Mount Vernon to help find her husband. Missing since Thursday morning, Germansky, who was 50 years old and an East Side real estate operator, was said to have invested heavily in stocks. Collaborative fund. Germansky was never found. The crash likely took his life. The twist, 4 years later, here is where the story turns truly haunting. After his 1929 blowout, Livermore, overflowing with confidence, made larger and larger bets. He wound up far over his head in increasing amounts of debt and eventually lost everything in the stock market. Broke and ashamed, he disappeared for 2 days in 1933. Collaborative fund. By 1940, having lost 95% of his fortune again and finding his Board of Trade membership suspended, the depressed author of a best-selling book on how to speculate went to the bar at the Sherry Netherland Hotel in New York City, downed a couple of drinks, and wrote a note to his wife, Joshua Kennan. He then took his own life. The lesson? Bernard Baruch and Jesse Livermore were the two best Wall Street personalities of their era. Their contrasting approaches to investing and to life to still provide useful lessons to investors today. Traders. Baruch, who used the same markets, did the opposite of Livermore. He earned the name the Lone Wolf of Wall Street because he always thought for himself, cut losses ruthlessly, and never followed the crowd. Darius Faroo, he died wealthy at age 94, a trusted advisor to multiple U.S. presidents. The real lesson: getting rich and staying rich are two completely different skills.